Most people think power belongs to the loudest person in the room, but that's almost never true. The loudest people usually reveal the most insecurity, the most emotional neediness, the most desperation to be noticed. The real power usually belongs to the quiet person, the one observing, the one speaking slowly, the one who never reacts emotionally. And psychologists discovered something disturbing about human behavior. The calmer you remain under pressure, the more powerful people think you are. Not because silence is magical, but because the human brain associates emotional control with dominance. And once you understand this, you'll start noticing silent power everywhere. In relationships, in business, in arguments, even in manipulation. But the strangest part? Most people destroy their own power without even realizing it. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why calm people quietly control entire rooms without forcing anything. Human beings are emotional scanners. Every second, your brain is unconsciously asking, who's nervous? Who's insecure? Who's desperate for approval? And the moment someone becomes emotionally reactive, people sense weakness. Not consciously, subconsciously. Psychologists call this emotional inference. Your brain automatically assumes, if someone loses control easily, they probably don't have real control. But calm behavior creates something incredibly powerful: psychological uncertainty. And uncertainty creates influence. Because people can't fully read you. They don't know what affects you, what you're thinking, how confident you really are, and the human brain fears what it cannot predict. This is why elite negotiators, high-status leaders, and psychologically dominant people rarely overreact. Not because they feel nothing, but because emotional control signals hidden strength. Most people never realize this. The person talking less is often controlling more. Think about the last time someone tried to provoke you. Maybe they insulted you, ignored you, disrespected you, tested your patience. What were they really looking for? A reaction, because reactions give people psychological access to you. Anger reveals insecurity. Defensiveness reveals emotional pressure. Over-explaining reveals fear of rejection. But calmness blocks emotional access. And this is where things become dangerous. When people cannot emotionally control you, they often become emotionally obsessed with you. That's why emotionally stable people appear magnetic, especially in relationships. Because emotional unpredictability creates tension inside the human brain. People start wondering, what are they thinking? Why aren't they reacting? Do they even care? And suddenly, the calm person controls the emotional frame. Most people think power comes from dominance, but real psychological power often comes from emotional restraint. Silence makes people uncomfortable. Do you know why? Because silence forces the brain to fill gaps. And humans are terrible at handling uncertainty. Psychologists call this projection. When people don't know what you're thinking, they project their own fears onto you. That's why silence during conflict feels so powerful. The quieter you become, the louder their mind becomes. And skilled manipulators understand this deeply. But emotionally intelligent people use silence differently, not to control others destructively, but to maintain self-control. And what shocked researchers is this: people who speak slower and pause more intentionally are consistently perceived as more intelligent, more confident, more authoritative, more trustworthy, even when saying less, because the brain associates calm pacing with certainty. Fast speech often signals anxiety, stillness signals confidence, but there's one silent behavior that changes how people treat you almost instantly. And most people never develop it. It's emotional non-neediness. Here's the hidden truth about powerful people. They don't emotionally chase, not attention, not approval, not validation. And this completely changes social dynamics. Because desperation is psychologically loud. People can feel it. Trying too hard to impress, over-explaining yourself, seeking reassurance, forcing conversations, needing constant replies, all of it silently communicates, Please validate me. But calm people send the opposite signal. I'm already emotionally secure. And humans naturally respect emotional self-sufficiency. Psychologists call this validation independence. The less dependent you are on external approval, the more psychologically powerful you appear. And, ironically, the less validation you seek, the more people give it to you. This is why some people dominate rooms without speaking much. Their energy says, I don't need to prove myself. And confidence without performance feels incredibly powerful. But silent power goes deeper than most people realize. Emotions are contagious. Neuroscientists discovered that humans unconsciously mirror emotional states. If someone panics, tension spreads. If someone becomes angry, the room absorbs aggression. But calmness spreads too. One emotionally grounded person can stabilize an entire group. This is called emotional regulation transfer, and great leaders understand this instinctively. During crises, people don't follow the loudest voice. They follow the calmest nervous system. That's real authority. Not aggression, not intimidation, not dominance theater, just emotional control. And the strangest part? The most powerful people often appear relaxed, because panic destroys the perception of competence. Calmness creates trust. But silent power also has a dark side. Manipulators understand emotional restraint too. Some people intentionally stay unreadable to create control. Narcissists use silence as punishment. Manipulators use emotional withdrawal strategically. Toxic people weaponize uncertainty. And this is where silent power becomes dangerous. Because emotional control without empathy becomes manipulation. True power is not emotional suppression. It's emotional mastery. There's a difference. Suppressing emotions creates coldness. Mastering emotions creates stability. And emotionally intelligent people know exactly where that line exists. The real reason calm people control rooms isn't silence. It isn't mystery. It isn't intimidation. It's self-possession. Most people are emotionally controlled by fear, approval, rejection, attention, validation. But calm individuals learn something life-changing. When you control your emotional reactions, other people lose the ability to control you, and that changes everything. Relationships become clearer. Manipulation becomes easier to detect. Confidence becomes natural. Because true power is not forcing energy outward. It's mastering what happens within. And once you understand this, you'll start noticing who truly holds power in every room you enter. Usually, it's not the loudest person, it's the calmest one. So next time you walk into a room, watch carefully. Who reacts emotionally first? Who seeks validation? Who loses composure? And then notice the person who stays grounded. That's usually where the real power is hiding. If this video changed how you see human behavior, subscribe to Psychology Unlocked for more deep psychological insights. And comment below, do you think silence creates real power, or just the illusion of it? Because the answer might reveal more about human psychology than most people realize.